Today in the crypto space, we see the market getting a nice green bounce to the upside. Bitcoin up approximately 3.5%, and Ethereum also up approximately 3.5%. And the rest of the crypto space, these altcoins are deep in the green. Solana, AVAX, we have VeChain, Celestia, Caspa, and many others reaching for much higher levels. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. But more importantly, I want to talk about one project that many people are talking about, and that project is called Virtual. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this general market. Looking pretty good. Market cap is right about $3.5 trillion, looking pretty good, up approximately 2.2%. But we have to remember one thing. We have to remember that this fractal right here is based on the 1 hourly time frame, which is still good. Look, we broke out of a nice, descending structure, and all of a sudden making a nice higher high here on the 1 hour, which is great. And the trading volume, definitely in confluence. I love it to see trading volume move up as well as seeing the market cap rise means that the market is in consensus. We have participation. Awesome stuff here. However, guys, we have to be prepared that this could be just a short-term thing. And of course, I'm going to talk to you about the 4-hour thesis, and I'm going to talk to you about the daily thesis on Bitcoin. But of course, we're going to spend a little bit more time here talking about virtuals, because obviously virtuals is part of a narrative that is defying gravity at the current moment. It's part of the AI agents narrative that, we did put our eye on in the last little while. We've been doing pretty good here on the markets with these AI agents. And of course, some price action to the upside is always welcome, while the traditional, quote unquote, traditional cryptos are kind of going sideways, right? Today we did pretty good, obviously, but we've been doing pretty much better on the AI agents. All right, guys, let's continue going down. Let's scrape through the top 100. We'll talk about Bitcoin, then we'll jump right into the virtuals chart to see what kind of edge we can get here. Bitcoin looking pretty good. Again, the 1 hour fractal here is looking great. Higher highs everywhere. Ethereum doing good, even XRP and many other altcoins reaching those higher levels. Beautiful. Higher high on the 1 hour time frame is something very accepted. And a lot of us, are happy right now to see our bags a little bit greener than usual, right? So there's not much to say other than on the 1 hour, we're getting green pumps all over the place. 25% on AI16Z, another AI, play. A lot of these AI agents play are doing really good, as I mentioned. And if you keep on going down, you see a lot of good price action to the upside, including some of the, marketplaces like Virtuals and Wayfu doing pretty good. All of the AI agent narrative protocols are doing amazing, and as well as some others, right? We look at even Brett, a nice 13.5% bounce to the upside. We have Beam doing pretty good. We got into some positions last night on the Discord. I did announce I was getting into some leverage positions on Beam. I got into some leverage positions on Mavia and a few others, of course, looking for those opportunities. Blue is another one based on the SUI narrative, and a few others. You got to get used to looking for those great risk to reward ratios. That way you can get in with, up from a position of strength rather than buying tops and all of that. We're getting good signals on lower time frames, so why not take a bit of risk? And this is so important, guys, is to know when to take risk. Now, the question is, do we take risk on virtuals? Virtuals protocol, it's up 51.6% in the last 7 days. It is up almost 10% for today. It is on a little bit of a pullback despite even being up 9.3%. It is right around $4.50. And its market cap, $4.5 billion market cap. This is the concern right now. For me personally, as an investor, trader, I'm looking at market cap. And I know the AI agent's narrative is a big one. And, $4.5 billion is nothing. We can definitely get to a 50, 80, $100 billion market cap on some of these. It's very possible. Why not? The thing is, in the short term, could we expect virtuals to take a bit of a dip? Are we slightly overbought? Right? And number one, are there some people that are willing to take some profit right now, given the fact that they are definitely in the green? All right, guys. So let's put this on hold for a second. Let's go see what Bitcoin has to say. And of course, you're here to talk about charts, so why not? Let's get right into it. Bitcoin doing its thing, guys, showing a lot of strength. Of course, Bitcoin moving to the upside gives us a lot of hope that we are ready to start getting into this bull run once again. And as we start the new year, we also expect to get back to work. Holidays are over, guys. Let's get this market going. But in the meantime, do we expect a change of character? Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. So ultimately, you guys know that, being well diverse as far as your strategy is super important. Having a little bit of knowledge here and there about different strategies is great. It's going to get you, basically be able to read the charts from different avenues, right? And when we're looking at oscillators, we're looking at, different indicators. Those are great, but really price action is king, guys. And when I look at the daily, I still see lower lows and lower highs on this dip. There's no change of direction, no change of character. At the beginning, when we start to see the change of character, we start looking at, is there a higher high? Is there a higher low? Is there any divergence on a potential structure? And the most common structures to identify, especially when you're looking for a pivot point structure, are, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, Adam and Eve patterns, and as such, right? Even W formations, but we're also looking for other indications like good horizontal support zones. We're also looking for divergences and so on. So right now, when I look at the daily, I look at it, still kind of, dripping down. It's still a lower low and lower high type of scenario at a good volume level. Like if we exclude all of this volume, we'll probably get rid of that point of control. And we probably can see that even this move right here is not that much volume, right? We can see the volume here, the market participation, but relatively speaking, look how much volume we really have here in this last response, this bullish response. It's not like it's a lot, guys. Now, does it have enough strength to break the previous high and make a higher high? It could be, could even be a short squeeze scenario. Is something that we need to consider. But we also really need to consider the fact is that we're still making lower lows. So the real test is, when do we make a higher high and when do we make a confirmation low a higher low? Right? It could even be right now we come down for a dip and make a higher low and then go for the higher high. That's also really acceptable, obviously. But without a confirmation of a change of character, all we're doing is expecting to, break structure to the downside again over and over. The trend is your friend until it isn't. Okay, so let's quickly look at oscillators to just confirm what I'm saying here. And I'm gonna just take away the momentum, the trend oscillator, and expand on the momentum oscillator. By the way, guys, if you want to know more about these oscillators, I got links in the description. You can see that the momentum is still trending to the downside. Nothing has changed. Yellow line, trend line, everything is showing downwards momentum, and we are, volatility, yes, is pushing to the upside based on lower time frames. The orange line, we're getting that, and we can see that. Yesterday, the day before, I was very clear, especially on the Discord, that the 4-hour time frame was what we should be bullish on, not necessarily the daily. Now, could this change? Yes, the 4-hour could come in with tons of strength to eventually start breaking trend, start giving us, some divergence. Now, keep in mind, we are in the chop zone. You can backtest this theory. Whenever we hesitate in the chop zone, we either get a little bit of indecision where we get a lot of people wrecked, choppy price action, whipsaw price action. That's very, very difficult price action. And statistically speaking, if we're going to get a full reset, we have to expect that to happen in the chop zone and then get the momentum completely oversold. What I see likely to happen is to continue seeing the 4-hour be totally in control, allowing the volatility to get completely overbought. And then once we get overbought, like we have done in the past, I want to see the bearish response. What kind of bearish response do we get here? Do we actually get something where we see a dip and continue the momentum to the downside eventually and then get oversold? And guys, be prepared, because that could happen. Remember, the $87,000 target is still very possible here on the daily. I don't see anything changing right now unless we start changing or breaking or changing character. Okay, that's very, very important. Price structure is king. Oscillators come second, and that's something that a lot of us need to, kind of reflect on, especially as you entering fresh, new to crypto trading. As you can see that, even the momentum, the trend is still pushing downside, guys. EMA is still facing down. You can see that, red histogram bars are still there. We could get a bit of a fake out scenario like this one and continue coming down. I don't see any clear change of direction, especially, as we've been a little bit low volume all into this. This is very, very difficult scenarios. As long as we are red, as long as the EMAs are facing down, as long as the trend is to the downside on the daily, I remain very skeptical on what's happening here, and I'm preparing my bags only based on the 4-hour thesis. So let's jump right into the 4-hour thesis and let's talk about that. The 4-hour thesis is looking a little bit better in the sense that, look, I had this whole play-by-play that's been playing out pretty accurately up until now. Let me just quickly get this out of the way. And you can see that ultimately we didn't come down for another dip, another extension. We came down for a nice one right here. We went sideways for an ABC, and then all of a sudden we start making a nice rounded bottom after a nice V recovery. That is an Adam and Eve pattern. So what I do see right now is a potential Adam and Eve structure right into here, and if we come back up to the previous highs, we're looking for a break of those highs. We're looking for a break, again, a change of character based on the 4-hour time frame. This is bullish. Now, what about if this becomes a fake out based on the daily time frame? This is what we're kind of saying here. If the daily is still somewhat bearish, and the trend is you're going to be your friend and we come down to 87, wouldn't be this be the perfect level to hunt liquidity, to get people wrecked? And typically the chop zone is where that happens. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, the bearish target is down here, 87,000. As long as we stay in structure, we're still okay. Buying bottoms, buying dips, and all of that is totally fine, especially in the altcoin market that haven't really left the station. We bought into some of those projects last night, of course, and at this current moment, we're looking for a break of the previous highs. And if we break the previous highs, we got our confirmed change of character where we start making a higher high, back test confirmation, higher low, and we start moving to the upside. Okay, so what we want to do is build our position on the 4-hour time frame based on the indications that we see here, based on the change of character. Lower lows and lower highs, all of a sudden give me a higher high and a higher low, and I'm building positions on the back test. We can build a bit of a position on the breakout if you want to be a breakout trader, but the back test is the best opportunity. Obviously here was great. Obviously here was a great opportunity if you happen to get in on this nice inverse head and shoulders type of scenario that, again, we talked about on the Discord a few days back, and all of a sudden now we're in the green, right? So this is really good, right? So it's good to be one step ahead of the market. Now, all of a sudden, what do, right? We see some of these altcoins that are flying, some of the narratives that are flying, and we don't know if we're buying the top and becoming exit liquidity. So my opinion is, obviously, none of this is financial advice. Always think about risk to reward, right? A lot of these altcoins, especially in the agent's narrative, have been really doing good, and the risk is there because of that. Let's jump right into the virtuals chart here and see what's going on. Now, if Bitcoin stays within range and goes sideways, we could see dips whenever Bitcoin dips. If Bitcoin shows strength here, Bitcoin could suck liquidity also out of these top gainers such as virtuals. We know that Bitcoin does that. When Bitcoin starts moving, everybody's eyes are on Bitcoin because it's a safe play. And when we see Bitcoin running, it's a safe and easy way to make gains to the upside, especially using a bit of leverage. So this is what we could end up seeing if Bitcoin gets its reversal. However, if Bitcoin dips, we did see meme coins, for example, show strength during times where Bitcoin and Ethereum weren't doing very well. Right? Could virtuals now be taking that spot where we see a bit of degen price action on AI agents while the rest of the traditional crypto market kind of, does their thing, maybe dips, maybe goes sideways type of thing? This is where, speculation comes in. This is where uncertainty comes in. And whenever things are a little bit uncertain, guys, just reserve a bit of that risk. Just be careful. Now, virtuals being the bigger protocol right now in the crypto space with regard to AI agents, and obviously EVM compatible based on deployment on Ethereum and Base. Obviously, everybody's trading this on Base because of the gas fee. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're getting involved, you got to be prepared to start trading on Base or getting having your Base wallet and all that. So, which is great. I totally support that. Now, ultimately, what I don't support is buying tops. This is my biggest issue. Now, if you joined the Saturday night with Sosa on Saturday, obviously, on the weekend, we were talking about it right around here. And we were like, nah, it's too high. We can't buy on these tops. It's crazy, right? Now, if we start looking at it, right, it's even higher, right? Probably another 100%, maybe more. Who knows? Let's see. Percentage from right around there, 70%. Doing great. Okay, so another pump to the upside. The problem is the more pumps that we get, the more likelihood is that you become exit liquidity. Now, you can't keep on suggesting that it's going to keep on going parabolic forever. It could go parabolic for a good while, but at a $4.5 billion market cap, things get a little bit hectic without a pullback, right? This is something that we have to understand. Now, we also have to understand the cost of deploying an AI agent on the virtuals platform has gotten more expensive, which will reduce the amount of deployment, and obviously to reduce the amount of virtuals that are going to be consumed by individuals that want to deploy on virtuals, which is obviously a big part of their ecosystem growth. Now, there's a big, not conspiracy, but idea here that they want to reduce the amount of deployment, obviously increase quality and so on. This is all great. The problem is in the short term, I could expect a pullback. You could expect a pullback because of this nature. They're playing the economic game right now, reducing supply, increasing the price, and all this kind of stuff does cause the price to fluctuate. So what could we expect? Now, you can see that their price action is tough, right? There's nothing really to be said here on the daily time frame other than you're buying tops, guys. So I'm nothing against virtuals. I like the platform, and I wish I had bought in. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. I wish I got in really early and went all in. But the reality is, getting in right now, you're buying in at multiple extension levels. 1.618 got hit on this swing high to swing low, and we're looking at an extension level, and it almost hit the 2.618 as well, which is a high level, guys. These are very frothy zones in price discovery. Yes, we did get good volume. I'll admit, great volume to the upside, and that's a very sustainable pump. But eventually, when you start to see these lightsabers like this, these are quick sell-offs. These quick sell-offs eventually, also known as blow-off tops. And to be honest, it's not that big of a blow-off. Okay, so let's be real about that. It's not that big of a blow-off, but at the end of the day, it is a good sign of sell pressure, of instant sell pressure. Now, unless we reclaim that tip of that wick, if things don't look that great, it starts to look like maybe we're coming down for a pullback. But after a massive run like this, it's a bit concerning to me, to be honest, to be buying at this level. Now, what else could we say? Good volume, nice extension levels. We're up significantly. 200 daily EMA is so far away. The price is so overextended, and that is very risky. The 200 daily EMA tends to want to keep the price action very close. Now, what is the strategy here? A mean reversion. We could see this thing go sideways, maybe dip a little bit, maybe come down to good levels. What are those good levels? Let's take a look at horizontals. This level is interesting. You can see, look at the lack of volume here. Right above about $3.73, we lose a lot of volume, a lot of market participation. So that's important. And then we start to come down to a little bit lower levels, and we do see a bit of a volume gap. So I would say that this is an interesting level as well. I'm going to fill them in with red boxes in a second so we can visualize these a little bit better. So you can see that there's a lot of weakness here. Right, tons of weakness. We can definitely come down. Let's see what kind of consolidation, maybe, because we can flag out there. If we get a bull flag, we'll talk about the targets, we'll talk about the strategy in a second. We're just identifying our weak spots, our opportunities. This is obviously an opportunity. We have a bit of volume here that could act as support, but relative to what's going on here and below, this is weaker than the rest. So why not expect that the price, if it comes down here, it could fall right through? How deep do we go? Do we get support here? A bit of uncertainty, and then we have another level which is all the way down here, right? These are all levels. These are all, concerns, right? And you can see another empty volume gap with not much price action in between, which could cause, again, the price to fall. So we got to be prepared for these psychologically, economically. If you're bullish, these are opportunities. Now, are we going to come down to $1 all the way down here? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that if we're lucky, if we literally start taking Fibonacci and we start looking at, a nice retracement, let's do it from this bottom. Forget the absolute bottom, right around here. Okay, you're looking at a golden pocket, maybe at about $2. Golden pocket retracement, guys, that happens all the time. Let's be real about that. And in the meantime, we can see the price come down, maybe, and see the 200 EMA get up there and catch up, and we can meet halfway type of thing. And that happens very frequently as well. So either we retrace to good levels, and let's highlight those good levels. So we got a bit of confluence there. This is a decent level. 0.5 Fibonacci. This is a good level. Golden pocket. If we come down here, it's 786, 886, guys, right around this level. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because, guys, if it happens there and you're bullish on this whole AI narrative, again, who knows? I think FUD would have to come in if it gets down to here. I don't think it's going to come down there. I think that if we're lucky, we can get down to these zones and we can start seeing reversal patterns right into here. Again, a change of character right around here, getting those Class A bullish divergences. Then I would be more and more interested. Now, there's another scenario that I would be interested in. It's if we go sideways and we stay above the 0.382 especially. That would be even more bullish. And why I say that is because structure is important, guys. Like, we could definitely come down, like I said, come down here, maybe round off a little bit, get those rounded bottoms and get going. Remember, the 200 the golden pocket is right here. We got a lot of confluence right into this level, and the 200 daily slowly rising up. Eventually what it does one of these, gets its bounce, and so on. However, what about if we structure out here? What about if we flag out? We start from here, we flag out, flag out, flag out, flag out, go sideways while momentum rolls over. That's also a great sign. That's also a sign of strength. That means there's equal buyers, the equal sellers, short-term profit takers are there, and there's selling, and there's buyers basically scooping up that liquidity so quick that it doesn't even have time to dip. Okay, so that's also a possibility. So what we could do here is wait for a structure, right? A nice bullish structure. At least you know where to put a stop loss. At least you know where to DCA and how to protect your initial investment just in case, because if we do dip, I'm expecting a corrective move, right? I'm expecting a correction. How deep of a correction, we don't know, but we do see good levels below. Again, nice horizontal support here is very possible. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna put another green arrow above because that's our first level. And if you don't recall what I mentioned, why I say this, just look at the volume profile. Just quickly, let's make this a bit. Let's see if the volume profile is gonna behave right now. You can see that right into this level, we got an empty space again. More volume for support. And if we dip, the question is how much of this liquidity could we chip away at? And could we eventually see some support so we can get that reversal pattern? Now that we're done looking at market structure, we're going to look at oscillators, right? Just to see how much support we get in on this analysis, right? If you look at the momentum, has been super overbought for so long. Since here, overbought, a bit of a dip, went sideways. Again, I'm just going to show you this so that we can apply the same thesis or same theory where we are right now. Look how we came down for that dip, went sideways, okay, and literally still grinded to the upside. That's a sign of bullish. Okay, now we take the risk going long right here because we didn't get oversold. But when the thesis is strong, guys, you kind of have to take some risk. It doesn't mean that you have to get all in, but when you see a lot of buzz about a narrative, sometimes it's a viable scenario. Take a bit of risk, put a stop loss underneath these bottoms, and let it run. And that's the things what happened, right? We got a nice explosive move to the upside, maintaining overbought state for way too long. Expansion's nice and green. Momentum is all the way up there. Volatility peak just keeps on going and non-stop. Now the question is, eventually, do we show some weakness? What I can see is a bit of divergence. Let me quickly show you. And again, when you see price action and momentum and everything very strong and sentiment very strong, sometimes these divergences get totally invalidated. As you can see, we made this top, and that top. All three tops right now are making lower highs on the momentum, while we're making higher highs on the price action. That is Class A bearish divergence, but that's three drives of it. Three drives of Class A bearish divergence, which for me, guys, I am not confident in buying this right now. Although I appreciate its fundamentals. I appreciate what it is doing from a price perspective. Again, as an investor, as a trader, this is not the time to take this type of risk. You are looking for catch-up plays. There are a lot of tokens, a lot of projects right now trying to catch up to virtuals, hustling to absorb some of their market cap. Go look for the catch-up plays, guys. There's a lot of them that we talk about on the Discord. Feel free to join because it's a great community. We're always hunting for opportunity. And again, this was an opportunity, and it still is, but the price doesn't make it a viable opportunity to take risk. That's the only concern right now. You're buying tops, you're buying pumps, you're buying, over bullish sentiment. Look at the expansions here, guys. EMA is facing up, green, purple expansion, green histogram bars. Everything right now is so overextended that we run the risk of becoming exit liquidity. Now, what you have to do here, guys, is say to yourself, if I miss out on virtuals, it's okay. It's okay if you miss out. If this end up going to $100 million market, $100 billion market cap, it is okay, right? Because you're going to be looking, you're not going to stop your mission here. You're going to end up looking for that catch-up play and looking for smaller market cap competitors to virtual that could eventually do very well. And it doesn't mean that you can't get involved in the virtuals ecosystem itself. Buy some AI agents that are deployed on virtuals. Because if virtuals continues to the upside, at least you get in from a position of strength of buying, projects that are small, projects that maybe are going sideways. And obviously, be careful out there, guys, because there's lots of volatility within this narrative. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. See you tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Have a good one, guys. Take care, and don't forget, buy the dip.